What's up, everybody? This is JDF, just right on time. I'm doing the JDF IG live show. So each day at 7 p.m. Central Time, I will bring you a new guest in the industry, ranging from comic books to wrestlers to Son of Anarchy to owners of Comic-Cons, of Bat Sun will be here on a Friday, so I'll make an announcement on each show. Before we do get started, we have a special guest today. We have Mike Rome, I always say Mike Rome, Mike Rose, who I work with. Mike Rome, sorry. I just call you Mike. Anyway, from WWE, he'll be coming on today in just a little bit. I would like to say we have a few contest giveaways. The first time we went live, we were giving out these pictures. We already picked 3 winners. Jason Font, Catherine, awesome. They're numbered and all that good stuff. We picked out 3 winners. All you have to do is comment randomly throughout the interview, and then we'll just pick out 3 winners, and then I'll screenshot it, pick out random 3 winners. Yesterday, we first day we went live with Leo Rush, which is amazing, and we went with Chris Casamassa, my instructor from who played the original Mortal Kombat. So what we did was give away the White Rangers yesterday. Let me set this camera up. We gave away the White Rangers yesterday, and today, during me and Mike's little broadcast interview-ish, we were giving away the Green Ranger, Bat Sun. So we'll be giving 3 of these away, all right? So anyway, wanted to thank you for tuning in today. I know we have 86,400 seconds a day, and I appreciate you guys taking your time. Let me see if Mike is on here now to take a look and see if we can get started. But I do want to thank you guys. You guys have been amazing. And went off there a little bit. Derek, you're going to be on the show soon too. I appreciate you coming, and we have a good lineup. And Derek will be on the show, I think, next week, I believe. So let me know, Mike, when you're on here. Hit me up. Take a look right now. I don't know if you hit a request, but hit a request, and then I'll pull you in. In the meantime, we're just gonna, just talk BS about stuff. So if you guys are at the karate school as well, Mike, I just saw you. If you guys are at the karate school as well, you get online training is going on right now, literally right now. So we have instructors from New Jersey and Texas teaching you online at the RSK Texas, but you have to send a request, and it's for students only. But anyway, let's bring in Mike, go live with Mike and see how that is here. I'm still working out some of the details, guys. Sorry about that. Questions. Oh, man. All right, let's go. Check out Mike. Here we go. Bringing him in. And pick up any second now, unless the Wi-Fi is being a little iffy on us. Connecting. And here we go.
Hey.
What's up, dude? What's up?
Hanging out, man.
Look at that office, dude. Puts me to shame. I got well, this fan actually made the Louis Vuitton helmet for me, so we got that. And I'm kind of running a little bit on I got everything strategically stabled right now. So anyway, how are you doing, man?
Good, man. Time off is good.
Yeah, I know. It's been going crazy though, right? Like, it's just everything's going crazy. Anyway, you mind telling, if you guys just tuned in, it's Jason and Frank, the Green Ranger, and we have
Mike Rome, WWE ring announcer, Monday Night Raw, backstage, everywhere.
You know what's crazy, Mike, and I'll pull people on. I just started this just to give me something. I wouldn't say something to do, but to kind of entertain the fans while all this stuff is going on, because I think social media right now is kind of blowing up. It is making a lot of people, my camera's slowly dipping. It is making a lot of people reach out to fans and talk to people now, but this is something, you've been doing for a long time. It's something positive for the fans. But one thing I don't do is when I hang out with everyone I bring in is we just kind of like talk about life. And today I kind of, yeah, it's true. I kind of want to talk a little bit about all these cool things behind you. God, I need to be there, and you need to be here. Look, I just have a blank wall.
Bro, you have no idea. Like, you know how like at your house you have like pretty much like most of it's in boxes, and like you kind of have an idea of where things are. So I took I had some time off. Well, now I have a lot of time off, but before that I had some time off, and I actually went through all my boxes and put stuff up, and realized I don't have enough space in the room that I chose. So there's still stuff in boxes. Like, I don't know if you can see, like over in the corner, like right up in here, all this stuff's still in boxes. And then I still have all the stuff from when I was a kid that's in Tennessee right now that I haven't even brought up here because I can't. I'm not room for it. And then there's a closet here, and this thing is filled with boxes of stuff.
Wow, man. I tell you what, I got a lot of stuff. I got a whole storage unit, dude, like full of boxes and stuff. And I have cool stuff, you know, like the Lucky Draw Saba. It was like, you know, I think only 10 of them. It's all red. It was Japanese. I think it was Lucky Draw. I did the toy hunt of that. It's super, super rare. So I always put stuff aside. I'm going to display this. I'm going to display this. So I got boxes of normal stuff. And then I got boxes of really rare stuff. But from the outside, they're just boxes. So I don't know which one's which. I've actually lost, you know, track of everything now. But it's good to have that. I was thinking, oh, I have my office here, and I don't have a lot of stuff. But then I was thinking for the show, I do have a mock-up of the Legend of the White Dragon helmet that they.
Oh, that's awesome!
Mocked up.
Dude, you gotta since you're showing that, hold on, I got one for you.
Okay.
Check this thing out.
Dude, that's dope. That is dope. Did a fan make that? Because I think we got the similar one, dude.
Yeah, this is
I gotta show you.
There you go. Like lights up. It's all green and stuff. Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's on my desk. I don't know how to light it up, but here.
Mine has a little plug in here.
There you go. I got this.
Yeah, I just got this one, and they're gonna kill me because I can't. I think it's like Bulletproof Studios. I think did this one, but
so dope. Yeah, I don't know who.
Awesome.
I get stuff. You know, I get stuff to me, and then it's very fragile, so I'll put it in a box, and you know, and all that stuff. But one thing that's super cool, dude, is I started these. I know we're just if you guys just tuned in, welcome and
welcome to our toys.
Yeah, so I had these toys a long time ago from Scott from Power Morphicon. I think it was back in 2008. So I did the show, and he said he'll make some toys for me. I'm gonna have to get you one because I will. I promise to get you. I got about 4 or 5 left. So he made these toys at Power Morphicon, and I was pretty impressed because I'm showing it now. So we made the Power Morphicon. Actually, it was 2010. So we made these toys, super collectible. Some people have them out there, but it's just super. Every tattoo that's on my body is like exactly what I have.
Wait, is it accurate though? Like if you were to like stand next to it?
But since 2010, I do have some new tattoos. So I have to do an updated.
You got to update the figure now,
dude. To the Cobra tattoo. To everything is accurate. I mean, even this is pretty accurate to my sleeve. Anyway, I was impressed when I got this, and then it was like, yeah, you know, had 40 of them, gave them away, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's becoming super rare. But this was my figure from my first fight. The shorts I wore to everything to my debut fight. So every sponsor on there was actually on my shorts. I mean, this is what I look like minus all. I was stacked, but not this stacked. This was like my first fight.
Watch this. Watch this. I feel like. There you go. Look at this. Look at this.
Yes, there you go, dude. There you go. Old school. I'm gonna have to give you one of these too, man. Liquid Sky Power and say, there you go. I'm gonna have to dig through my box since you know everyone out there is probably like, give me something too. But I'm gonna dig through my box to find some cool stuff for you.
I'm pretty sure I got that shirt at that Anime Fest in Orlando like forever ago. AFO. Yeah, like years. Yeah.
You know what I like about you is that you know because when I was growing up, I collected different comic books and things like that. I was gonna ask you the question of what do you prefer? I was gonna text you and make sure I ask you, but what would you prefer, Marvel or DC?
Oh, dude.
Dude, I get that question all the time, so I got to put you up now. I noticed
right.
DC in the back.
I'm gonna throw it down like this. when it comes to comic books, I grew up with detective comic books like Batman, obviously.
Yeah, I see that.
Batman was my dude. All my Batman.
You do got a lot of that new one you got.
Bro.
Is the new tattoo done, by the way?
This one is just Arkham Asylum.
Nice.
Yeah, that's like week 2 of that. I'm
Where's
about to
your
go back in a couple of days and get another thing added to it. What'd you say?
You got no Power Ranger tattoo. You showing me Batman.
Oh, bro,
Where's the Power
I
Ranger
got a whole arm. I got a whole arm ready.
All right.
I'm gonna give me a Lord Draken down here.
Dude, yeah, I got the Lord Dragon. We'll continue They could have been gods. Anyway, we'll continue to talk. So you were saying you're a big Batman. Big Batman. There you go. Big Batman fan.
Yeah. So I grew up with like the darker stuff. So I always grew up with like Batman and love Batman Beyond. My dad was a huge Punisher guy. Grew up with Silver Surfer. So I was kind of all over the place. But I feel like DC comics were my thing. However, if I were going to say cinematic universe, it would hands down be Marvel.
Sure.
Marvel's got that on lock, and their storylines are fantastic, and I don't even care that they changed half of them. They're just great. But comic book-wise, I've always been a DC guy, with the exception of, like, I read Iron Man and Captain America, obviously. Like, those were great ones, but, yeah.
It's crazy, man. Like, I think TV, I don't know if TV is dominated by DC now or Marvel, but I definitely know the movies are. I mean,
I'll say DC Comics is great at doing the animated. So like everything they've done animated, all their animated movies are solid, like even their cartoons and stuff. But then when it comes to the movies, it's like they're trying to figure out what they're doing, and they're kind of all over the place. I'm hoping they get it soon.
I do too, man. I mean, as you know, I haven't seen it yet, but I was very happy to be part of that Valiant universe, which I'll be honest, I was a comic book collector, and I'll give you my answer on the universes, but I never heard of Valiant. I really haven't. I collected a lot of Marvel, DC at the time. We'll get to my answer, but I never heard of Valiant. So when I did Bloodshot, I was very excited about it. Actually, things always work out for the best, man. Like I haven't seen it yet. I know Valiant's trying to hit into this universe, which is Marvel and DC, and it's very hard.
Did they push it back?
No, it came out this weekend, last weekend. You know, and there's mixed reviews. I haven't seen it. I'm gonna really look at it, not be biased. I'm just gonna look.
What an awful time to drop a movie.
Dude, it's gonna be one of those things where, like, I grew up with like Batman, Jack Nicholson's Joker, Mike Keaton. I mean, I'm showing my age, but I also grew up with Adam West because my dad would watch Batman.
Oh, same.
I grew up with, you know, I love the paying that I think I'd say cheesiness, because Power Rangers was, but I tell people kids eat cheese all the time, dude. It's like their favorite thing, macaroni and cheese and all that. So I did grow up on that, but I'm curious now, because when I was growing up and going to a comic book store, I'm really wondering. I used to go to Eagle Rock Comics. I'm sure they're maybe still around, but every weekend I'd go to Eagle Rock Comics, and I'm wondering if there was a Marvel section and a DC section, because I was always stuck and captivated in the Marvel world. I don't think I went to the other side.
Yeah, so I think, if I remember correctly, when I would walk in, there was always a couple things in there. Like, I would always walk in and there would be the Captain America and the Avengers arcade game that was in there, which is part of the reason why I downloaded it, because it was like one of my favorite things to do. So I'd always sit there and play that. But I feel like the comic stand was always like either a circular or whatever, and you'd walk there and you just kind of look, and it was always the daily releases. So it was everything. So the time when I was younger, it was Marvel, DC. I think Image was just coming out.
Yeah.
Valiant had a couple of things. It was kind of all over the place, and there wasn't very many. Now there's so many tiny comic book companies, and back then there was you would never see them in the comic store. Like, if somebody dropped something, you would never see it. But then you would go to like the dollar and the penny bins, and you go through all that stuff. But I don't think there was like a Marvel and DC section. Like, I think it was just like, hey, welcome to the comic book store. Whatever you like is here.
I think so, man. I mean, it's funny because I used to pay 60 cents for a cover price, and to be honest, dude, I collected it because it was intriguing to me how you can buy, I'm dating myself, a 60-cent book and end up holding so much value in it. It was like gold or silver at that time. And I was young, but I also knew what I was doing, because I would buy 2 comics, one for myself, and I had a friend named Shannon, wherever he's at. He used to be made fun of all the time because he had, you know, a so-called girl's name, so I would always stick up for him about that bullying stuff.
Yeah.
So I was happy. We'd go and eat Del Taco, and we'd read comic books, and I would get 2. I would get 2, and I would put mine in the cover, and I would read his. But I'll be like, hey, let's read your comics. So mine was in a cover, and we'd read the comics. And that's when, you know, I say Wolverine was just Wolverine. And it's funny you talk about the bins, the cheap bins. I used to go in there and be like, oh, comics are wrinkled. I can't buy that even 60 cents or $1. So mine had to be like mint. We didn't have the grading as we did back then, but, you know, I'm in there, you know, catching every reflection of, you know, and putting them in the sleeve. So I kind of knew back then. But to answer your question, I got kind of stuck in the Marvel universe. Although I watched a lot of DC, I think I was more familiar with the DC, with the Superman and the Batman. That may be something that was new at that time would captivate my you know, attention. But you're right. I all I knew at that time, was Marvel, DC, and a few other comic books. I would say, I don't even know back, and I'm dating myself, 93. I'm not too sure, but I'd never heard of Valiant. I didn't. I just wasn't a big, you know, comic books maybe didn't hold the value that I was looking for. You know, so, but now it's great, but it's very hard to create, well, I'd say another superhero, which we are doing, The Legend of the White Dragon, which is super cool. But
plug.
We're doing it for fun, right? Like,
yeah.
I'm not trying to go out there and milk and make a lot of money. I'm sure everyone does it for fun, but as you know, studios, dude, can ruin brands with their ideas and people not understanding the brand. You know what I mean? So, and
It's true.
Do you have comic book collection? Because I actually sold my collection to my instructor to get a karate school franchise. So my Shion, I traded that to get a karate franchise. So I gave up my whole comic book collections. I don't know, it was like 11 grand. I don't quite remember, but it was a lot of money for a franchise fee. And I remember I was almost so hurt on that. I said, well, I'm not going to buy those comics. If I'm not paying 60 cents, I'm not going to buy that.
Yeah.
So I see them around now, you know, like Giant Size X-Men. I see all these things, Wolverine first appearance. I see all this stuff, and I'm like, you know, I got a lot of stuff from Stan, but it's never going to leave my hands. You know what I mean? Which I'll have to give you a Stan Lee poster. I got quite a few of them. I'll get you one because your one.
Add it to my collection.
It's very super rare. But so I would probably, it's hard to pick. Yeah, you're gonna definitely have to
over there.
You're definitely gonna have to hang this on your wall, dude. He made it. Wanted to do a Spider-Man. We did Big Apple Con, and he came up with the Spider-Man Ranger, and he wanted to collaborate and and take him to the fans because it's funny, man. Things aren't about money right now. People are freaking out. I get it. I understand, but you have to understand that comics were just fun for me to do. Comic-Cons. I'm so glad I left them as a hobby because it's just a hobby right now. It's gonna wait. Things are gonna go. I'm more discouraged, I think, of the whole everything's stopping and everyone, it's very mental, but it's refreshing to go in that room right now. I'm not going to think of let's say I want to feed it the virus thing, dude. This is like superheroes, and your room is so uplifting.
Dude, this is so that's the thing is I go to a lot of cons just for fun. I just like to walk around and see stuff and find stuff from a collection. But I grew up with all that stuff, and I do still have all my comic books from when I was a kid. And then there was a brief period of time after I worked for Nickelodeon that I worked for a software company and I had a business job, and I was making good money. So I actually went back and bought. I was so afraid the bubble was going to pop. I went back and bought all the comics that I couldn't afford when I was a kid. First appearances, I went back and I got Deadpool's first appearance. And I went back and Juggernaut and all these X-Men characters and all the whatever. I was trying to get all the number ones, and I ran out of time. I got most of everything I wanted, but I still have everything. But I wanted to basically make this room it's such a mashup of a bunch of things. I have all these arcade. I've got 4 arcade machines in here, and then
I love it. See Turbo back there too. We got the Turbo and Batman.
Let's see what I can
show you. You got a lot of good stuff in there.
All right. So I got Turtles in Time.
Turtles.
The Marvel thing. Got my little microphone so I can do voiceover stuff.
Yeah, I got the same one in my room. That's crazy.
I got all those. So this corner, you're not really going to maybe it's really dark in there, but this is all the stuff I haven't done anything with.
Wow. Is that the jacket on the Red Ranger too? That's
the costume. Oh yeah. So we did a SmackDown and Raw in London or Manchester, I think it was, and they did both.
That was
I
great.
got this thing. Obviously, I got this one, and then you can
cool.
kind of see all the like Funkos and random stuff. I got these two from Sideshow.
Okay. Those are
And
heavy,
then,
aren't they?
oh, dude, they're huge.
God.
And then obviously all this stuff, all the
People got to
Batman
carry
stuff.
that in the
Oh,
con.
dude, people carry. I've watched people carry those into the cons. All like DC stuff. All my Marvel stuff is over here. All the helmets.
Yeah, you do got a lot. So that is a very hard question to ask, I guess, DC and Marvel. I guess Marvel got me my franchise fee for the karate school. So, but yeah, it's crazy. When I did cons, I just honestly, Jared with Lexington called my school when I was teaching karate and said, "Hey, someone said, I'm Tam, or someone said, hey, you got a guy on the phone for Comic-Cons? I said, does he want to sign up? No, I'm like, what do you mean Comic-Cons? Like, we're, hardcore school. And then he told me, and I said, I'll come and I will look at the comics that I gave away. That's it. I was expecting to go like you, just walk around. And ever since then, it was super busy. And the Power Ranger fans are so great and hardcore that anywhere I go, dude, is the draw, the fan base, I think love of it too, like what we do. And that's why sometimes we hang out. I don't know, man. We just like hang out and chill and talk about stuff. But it's cool to see a room like that. I wish I was in there doing the interview, because you got a mix of stuff in there.
This is my sanctum sanctorum. That's why next time you come to Orlando, you got to come over. You got to work it out. I know last time you were a little far away.
Yeah.
I mean, we were like, I think we were like an hour away.
Yeah, dude, you know how those shows, and I do want to ask a few things with the traveling schedule and with your guys' WWE stuff, but you know when it is like traveling, dude. I was just talking about you today that you guys, in general, travel from shows to shows, and these guys you're in front of the camera, looking fresh, good-looking guy, never look tired. What is the secret with that? What is the secret?
I look tired all the time. It's the filters, baby. Filters.
Honestly, I don't know, man. It's the energy.
Yeah, so here's the thing is like, if you don't enjoy what you're doing, like if you don't have a good time, there's no, like, you find something you love doing, because like the traveling itself, like it does get exhausting sometimes, but like in every city I go to, I always try to go do something or see something in that city, because I don't want to look back like 10 years from now and be like, man, I went everywhere and saw nothing. Yeah, I went everywhere and did no things. But it's nice to get out and get fresh air, especially, when you're in times like this. You can look back and you can look back and be like, oh man, I did some cool things. Like I've been going back through my just going through stuff. And speaking of Power Rangers, fans, it's really cool because the WWE Universe is awesome in itself, and you have fans from back in the day and the time that I was watching as a kid, and then fans from now, and then sometimes those intersect. But you also I've met so many awesome Power Ranger fans through this, and it's kind of funny because you find out and people are like, oh, you're a Power Ranger fan. I'm like, yeah, man, it's cool. I was like, I remember being in Toys R Us with my mom and just like elbowing people so I could get that Dragon Zord, you know what I mean? Like that it was insane back then, but it's cool to meet people, like even as far as the UK Power Rangers and like all the different like fan bases that are out there. It's cool to see that people keeping it alive and people remembering something great from their childhood or something that they had, and sharing stories like that. Yeah, I remember when my parents were at Toys R Us, or I remember waiting for this or watching this episode or this and that. And it's such a cool thing. And to find out how, the fan bases kind of intersect there, it's such a cool thing. It's like, awesome.
Totally, dude. I agree. When I went to the WWE in Houston, I went there, saw everyone. I think, I go there to visit. I don't, honestly, I'm not one of those, I don't watch a lot of stuff. You know that. So, but of course I know. I think because we're in it. People say, how is it? That's the universe that you're in. So you probably don't go back and rewind a lot of stuff because it's just too overwhelming, but you're in it. You're in it at that moment, and you're in it during that time, which is great. So when we, met up there, the WWE and the Power Ranger fans are amazing, man. I remember going there and they're like, JDF, and I was like, oh, okay, let's quiet down there a little bit, because this is a different art. You know what I mean? The WWE is a different art. I'd be silly to say, yeah, put me in it if I don't know all the quiet. They work really hard. So I give props to everybody out there who's working and traveling and working through injuries. I've talked to a lot of you, and including a lot of other wrestlers like John. John's a great guy. I talked to him because we did, Ninjak versus WWE Universe. You're hurt, you're going to continue, and that takes a lot, man. So the fan base is definitely crossing, which is super cool. And the cosplayers, they're I wouldn't say advertising because that sounds like a cheaper, but they're keeping the brand alive by walking around the con and dressing as the Green Ranger. You know what I mean? And see, I wasn't part of that when I asked you the DC or the Marvel Universe, because when I see Power Rangers, I don't, even though we went back and did Marvel, Power Rangers was a comic book. I was a comic book collector. So when I did Bloodshot, I was like, oh, that came from 1992, 1 year before 93, and it was actually a comic book. So Power Rangers, for me, we made the history of making it a comic book, like with Boom and all that stuff, that it's so great that we're actually part of the universe. But, we were a little on Marvel, and then we did the DC, then the Green Ranger, Superman. It just was cool to see that it finally became, I would say, in the comic world, because we talk about, and I'll ask you too, but we talk about in 93, we did this without social media, dude. You know what I mean? Like, we got through it without this. And because of this, though, it is making life harder on us with bad stuff like viruses. It's because of the social media that can, we did it the hard way. We did it the old school way. And that's what I'm proud of, because if we had, like I said, if we had it easy, it would be used. Like, people always say, like, if God had FaceTime, he would be using it. So it ain't a sin, because he'd be like sitting there and FaceTiming everyone. He probably wouldn't even be walking in his sandals. He'd be like, hey, FaceTime. That's how easy things are nowadays with social media. So, and speaking of the wrestling stuff, and I know people ask me, and this is so cliche to ask, but is there any, you'll be like me, my special moments of Power Rangers, before I ask you any special WWE moments, is obviously when I was the Green Ranger, I knew nothing about the costume. I saw it, I was sold, I wanted to do it. And then working with my brother, because it was very hard working with my brother, because it brought out the craziness in me. So it was like two dogs running around the field. I didn't really feel like action. I felt like just talking to my brother, running around and having a good time. But that was good memories, because we're both not from Hollywood. He became my brother. It was like I got him a job behind the scenes, and then he was on the scenes. So he was in front of the camera, which at that time was going to kind of write for the Gold Ranger, kind of going for that type of thing. And then Hollywood kind of got to him a little bit. And standard things in Hollywood is when you ask for stuff, most likely you're going to go to a peace conference. That's just reality. You know what I mean? So,
shut the peace conference in there.
But it's just,
my guys,
but that's
the peace conference.
But that's the way Saban Neutral, they handled it, and all the kids, and it was a good, positive thing. What I'm saying is, if we had social media,
every kid in the world at that time was like, yo, why are they going to a peace conference? Why would you give this up?
Yeah. And so they do kind of, spin things. But if we had social media, it would make things, it would be so much harder for us to, hide the shield that's not a Japanese footage shield. It would be a lot harder to do that nowadays. Do you experience anything? I mean, I'll ask you about your WWE, but you experiencing things that are harder now with social media? You're young, so you don't quite remember, but in the last 8 years, have you seen a shift with social media?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's one of those things where you kind of, I mean, wrestling in general, back in the day, if you think about, Hulk Hogan and, the NWO, all the stuff from, years ago, Junkyard Dog, Andre the Giant, you would see it in magazines and you would see it in person.
Yeah. But
there was never any internet. So if you saw somebody on your screen or in the magazines, like, oh, you're like, oh man, that's who that guy is, not realizing it.
Yeah.
They're different. It's a character, whatever. So it's hard nowadays because the internet kind of, changes everything. You didn't have to worry about information getting out or any of that stuff. And, you could just watch things, movies, anything, spoilers. And now it's like, man, I got to avoid the internet, because if I don't,
yeah,
it's going to ruin it for me.
I think also, I think it shows your true characteristics too, though, because obviously you're taking time doing this for me. I know we're friends. I put this together. I'm like, you know, like I got a lineup with different people, and you were, of course, you guys, I text, you know, 10 people that I know are down for it, and you all just came together. There's a few people that I was expecting to come that straight out was like, nope, good luck. And I was like, okay, understandable, because not everyone, you know, is into social media, and people always ask, well, what do I get out of this? Like, there's nothing. I think right now, just feed the fan base, give them something positive to watch. I do think now with social media, it will kind of I went outside the box and tried to do things that were different, like poems, and everybody also refreshing to see them complete their task or proof. Like my instructor yesterday, he played Mortal Kombat in the movie, dude. During this time, they were always in Hollywood. Not one time did I ask them, hey, so a scorpion in Mortal Kombat, that's what I'm around. Just like you, I saw you, I was looking through your post, and you post just things of wrestlers that are around you, but that's life. That's not like, that's your life, right? But other fans kind of want to know it. So I appreciate you being like true and I think real to the fans and giving them something. And, you know, and on top of that, you know about this industry, dude. You know about the Rangers, you're a comic book collector. So you're not just, you know, writing
hardcore nerd.
No, dude. Well, that's good though. Everyone on here, and everybody, I think, has a nerd in them. But it's at that one time where we were, you know, doing Power Rangers, and growing up, it was super cool. And then it went through a high school stage where it was like, oh, come in high school. Even though people are watching it, even though they got toys, it just, I'm in high school. But see, now high school people, Jenna's friends, they come over, they, you know, they love Power Rangers, which is so amazing to see high school go, yeah, I like Power Rangers. And, you know, back then it was kind of like just coming up. So now the love of
Like, oh,
this age group, teens and kids, I don't think this is just ever going to stop. I think it's just going to be great content forever, no matter how old you are.
I agree. It's, dude, I can watch a lot of that. I mean, everybody has their shows, you know, everybody thinks back to when they were a kid and is like, hey, that's my show. I could watch it over and over and over again. And like, for me, it's one of those things where I have such great childhood memories of that, just like sitting around or going around the TV, that, and like, was like Fox Saturday mornings, like just in general, like the different shows that would come on, and like Batman the Animated Series when that would come on. Like I have certain shows that I have that you attach feeling to, or like that you attach like an emotional sentiment to, and that it's one of those things. And it's cool that it's touched so many people, and then you can still come back around. And that's what I find with wrestling too, is like I love meeting wrestling fans from like years ago. It's funny when we go to some towns, like you can always tell by the shirts people are wearing when they stopped watching, or if they watch now. Because I mean, wrestling now is very different than it was before. And when I was a kid, like I remember seeing The Undertaker come out the first time, and I remember watching that SummerSlam, and I'm like, oh man, this guy. Survivor, I think it was Survivor Series, not SummerSlam. But yeah, I remember watching him come out first time, and I was like, oh, this is insane. This guy's scary. And like, you know, working with people that I saw as a kid is awesome. You know, it's every kid's dream to do those things. But it's just also like, you gotta find, like I said earlier, you gotta find what makes you happy and like stick to those things, because there's so much craziness, and especially like with the internet you're talking about, like it's done some good things and it's done some bad things, but I try to stay towards all the good stuff, because I don't have time for any of the negativity, man.
I try that too. I've noticed a little bit more on my social media, you know, even when I talk about lean on faith and understand and not talk about medical reports. I'm simply saying that if you say this is what's going to happen, you could hope for a miracle, dude. Things could change. And I'll tell you right now about don't listen to the medical reports, meaning don't listen to media. Power Rangers was nothing. They all made fun of Power Rangers. Everybody said, it sucks. It's a joke. You're going to be out of a job. Everybody said we believed them, Haim Saban never would have took that chance to do it. And that's the thing I'm trying to say, that it's not over because someone says, and I'm not saying anything about this. People are kind of jumping it. I'm not saying anything about that. Just say, don't believe sometimes, not that, you know, with this going on, believe it, but there's always hope on the other side. Things could change, miracles can happen. And I told you I was an X-Men collector, and when X-Men cartoons were on at that time, and I loved them, but yet I'm on a show, Power Rangers, and they give us the crappiest spot on television was a half hour before X-Men, very early in the morning, and we crushed it, we killed it, we beat X-Men. Here, I'm an X-Men fan, and I'm coming up as this new superhero, a Green Ranger, and I collect X-Men, I do stuff, and we ended up killing the ratings, and Fox said, we'll give you a chance. We were filming the show already the whole season, and they already canceled. That's like you filming WWE, and it's not coming out, and they don't tell you they canceled. But then on the end of the day, they didn't even waste time to tell you because it continued. So it was crazy how I was working, and the show was already canceled. But we didn't know it because we didn't yell, fire, fire, fire. The producer just didn't say nothing to us. And then behind the scenes worked it out.
Trying to get those episodes out of you guys.
Yeah, dude. And then the next thing you know, here we are so many years later with you growing up on people watching the WWE, and now you're around them, which is kind of your life, and you're around a lot of celebrities. But what's cool is that you get just to do what you want and live life with your passion. And I don't truly feel, people are living with passion. We all have problems, dude. Like, you don't think on Power Rangers, there wasn't a time where I said, oh, dude, I can't do this no more. Was there a time through training? I went to a seminar, and every top grandmaster black belt, I said, raise your hand if you all wanted to quit one day. And every hand came up. And I was actually kind of shocked. I was a younger instructor. And I was like, oh. And they said, hey, every good black belt is a white belt that always, that thought about giving up, but they never did. So that's kind of the thing here, is just never give up and follow the passion. And it's no BS stuff. I know sometimes I come off and sound like an info commercial, right? But it's the truth. And I think that's what's great about you. We all have struggles. Everyone I know in the industry probably wants to do something else than they do. But we're blessed with who we are because it'll get us to that next level. And things change. Passion might change. Next, you might be the next cast on Power Rangers. All of a sudden, you don't even care about the WWE. Now you're carrying the brand. So wherever our destiny is, I really do feel that that's kind of this stuff happening in the world now. It's almost meant to be, so we can cure this stuff, and everything's a shift timeline, and it's affecting everything right now. You know what I mean? Mentally for you, and ask, but what would you tell people that are discouraged, that, all we can do is say things will get better, but how are you getting day by day, and what's your mindset?
I mean, the thing is like, it's different for me. It's different for everybody, obviously, but I'm so used to traveling so much. Like, now I'm actually home, and I've been trying to go back through and lost connection to, there, or cleaning up my office, or scaring my girlfriend, or doing those kind of things. I've just been trying to find the things that make me happy that I'd never had time for before. And that's the thing, is just we spend so much time go in the world, and like doing the things that we think that we're supposed to do. This is the time that we can actually take to slow down and reconnect with those things that we forgot about, that made us who we are, or made us happy. And that's kind of, and I'm also planning out a bunch of new scare videos. So
yeah, that's good. How is she doing, by the way? You guys are funny. I love you guys. I tried looking at now I'm gonna post that video too of her scaring me in the car, but it's crazy, man. One thing that you said that just got my attention, activated, which probably people just didn't even think about, is clean your office. People probably didn't even grab that. We're so busy that sometimes we can't even clean stuff or organize or hanging stuff. So to actually think about how just an easy, simple task for everyone else becomes very hard in the struggle. And there's a lot of things I don't have my hands on. There's a couple books that Boom has, a couple hardcover books that's signed by Saban, Melissa, and then Kyle, a bunch of other people. It's just like maybe Kyle didn't sign. There's a book, like all the owners signed it, and it's like, oh, where'd you get this? They said in the secret package box, and there was like only 3 of them in the world. So those things would be super cool. But I do sign everything, and I just kind of put it away. So you do stuff in a day to go through my boxes, because you'll be like,
I'm coming to Houston. I'm coming out there. I'm going to check. That's the whole, I'm going to come and empty the boxes.
Are you on FaceTime?
No, we're on Instagram Live.
Hi.
He's going to let me come arrange his office. He looks like a raccoon. Oh, God.
mine. Oh, it's not in there, but mine looks just like a raccoon too. Cute. How many pounds does the dog weigh? Hey.
He's fat.
All right, my dog weighs like 2 pounds, dude. 2.5 pounds. And he's growing. He's probably only gonna weigh maybe 6 pounds. That's it. Why are you being so weird?
Yeah, he's.
Hi. Somebody said hi to me.
she's not paying attention. She's just reading the comments. She came for the comments.
You're reading the that's why those people you're like not looking at me. Reading the comments. There you are, reading the comments right now.
She's going through reading them right now. Now the dog. I think Frankie read something he didn't want to read, so he's out.
Uh-oh.
He's like, I'm done, Mom.
Did you guys
did you see her on virtual reality earlier?
No, I didn't. Oh yeah, my God, that was so funny, dude. I think you do yourself. That's what I think you do. I love that video so much. Oh my God. You know when you get like, it's like so. Hey, you just keep that at work and keep tagging those videos.
I mean, she was supposed to be getting ready to go outside because we were going to take a walk because we've been inside so much. And then I come downstairs and she's wearing the virtual reality. So I was like, well, if you got
that's so funny, dude.
Noise canceling headphones on and you're in virtual reality, you're going to get scared. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, dude. Of course. Yeah, for sure. That's for sure. Well, I like it. I thought it was funny.
Been on?
For a while.
How long?
So I got to ask you.
Are you trying to get him to do a walk?
To think about it. Get out of here.
She just leaves.
What is the favorite piece you have? Yeah, right. Look at her. She's
out of the Power Ranger stuff.
She's gonna stay in the background. Yeah. What is your favorite piece right now that you collected over the years? It could be something.
Pay attention to us, dude.
Something you got from a set. It could be something that you were given. It could be something that was.
I have the. Hold on, let me see. I'll show you.
Ew.
Hold on. I'm coming. So I think originally this dragon dagger was sold. Okay, they took the first one, they sold it at a collectible. But when you come over, you got it's. Because it's like this was actually when people say original screen used. I do see stuff, and it might have been screen used, but we have like 20 turbo morphers, maybe 30. Maybe some were used in the stunts, maybe some weren't, but I can actually say this is the one that I I just happened to have this one, Mike. I just happened to have
happened to have it on you.
It actually was sold at a shop, and it was bought back because someone got in a lot of trouble for selling it. So I even signed it back in the days, and my signature looks different. Look, it looks like a knockoff. Y'all see that out there? I would say this is not my signature. If I looked at it right now, I'd say you guys just bought a knockoff. But yeah, it's definitely mine.
How old is it?
1993. How old is that? That's the is that the San Diego one or no? That's the newer ones.
Yeah, it's the San Diego Comic-Con one.
Way better than ours.
Literally.
Dude. Look how good that looks. But this looks so old.
I can't tell. It looks fine to me. I literally went to Comic-Con and that year bought a bunch of stuff and sold.
That's cool, dude. Well, you got to save all that stuff, man. That's I saved everything. I even have the communicators. I have everything. But that would probably be my coolest. And I actually like that red Saba, the lucky draw. I think it's pretty cool. I like it.
I have my Saba here somewhere. I don't know where it went to. I don't know where anything.
How can you lose a Saba sword? Your room is too packed if you're losing.
Bro, I have
That means
no
you have too
idea
much
where
stuff.
it went to. It was. Apparently, I do.
Dude, episode 2, The Search of the Saba. Dude, doesn't that sound like a TV show?
Wow,
The
I
Search
legit
of
have
the
no
Saba.
idea where it went to.
See, now
Look
you're
at this.
freaking out,
I have
dude.
an empty box. I have an empty box. I don't know where it is.
Uh-oh. The Search of the Missing Saba.
Oh man,
Saga
that's not
will
good.
continue.
You want to see what I just this came this was San Diego Comic-Con this year.
Oh yeah. Oh dang.
Have you seen this?
I didn't see that one. No. You think they'd be sending this stuff? Oh, I did not see that. I saw it on this. I didn't know that was even a thing. I thought it was a knockoff.
No, it was a Comic-Con exclusive.
Wow. I thought it was just kind of someone painted it. So that's way. Be careful with that box, son. Dang. You're throwing that around. You gotta put that in a paper wrapper. That's cool, dude.
I'm gonna take care of it. I promise.
All right.
Yeah, I have no.
Well,
I legitimately do not know. I don't know where my Saba sword is. That's so crazy.
Does that suck when
now
that
I'm gonna be spending
because that happens to me all the time, dude.
the rest of the night
My
looking for
mind
that
off.
sword.
Yeah, I know. I can't get my mind off stuff like that. I hate that. It's why all those boxes. When I miss something, I can't think about it because I need to label the boxes, man. Like those Stan Lee things. Oh my God, I think someone organized them, and I looked everywhere for hours. I had everybody looking for hours to find those Stan Lee posters, and they were sitting in the box the whole time right in front of me. Super crazy. But I'll let you go, man. I'll send you a text.
That's why I can't leave stuff in the box.
You need to text me when you find it because I know you're gonna find it and you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I totally forgot I put it there. That's what's gonna happen. Now, everyone, the world waits for you. Now, the whole thing we did, everyone's waiting for you to find your missing Saba.
All I know is that, and I was trying to film a video. Of me talking to the sword. I was trying to do something funny, and then I don't know where it went to. I do know where my bat signal is, though, so there's that.
Well, that's good. You do need to find the Saba. You know, I joke around with people. Just imagine this would probably be true. All right, so imagine you're the Green Ranger, right? You're the whole time. You're calling for power. You're calling for power. You're calling for power. Run at Japanese footage. We're calling for power. But then it's actually Saba in your mouth. And you're like, whoa, sorry about that, bud. Because you're so used to this, muscle, thing that when you actually summon.
Are you saying you made out with Saba?
Yeah, and you're like, and they're like, just imagine that. Sorry, man, I have a muscle memory for the Dragon Dagger. So
stop, sir.
Please stop, sir. Yeah. Which Tony Oliver did do the voice of that. Tony's great. Tony Oliver, I mean, man, I tell you, we did so much ADR that I trip out that Bryan Cranston 2 was a monster on Power Rangers. Making like $100 doing a monster. And that's how Dave got his last name, which is super crazy. We would make fun in the ADR booth and be like, I don't have a last name. We don't have parents. We don't have anyone. We're just kids around in Angel Grove with powers. Until Tony said, you have a last name. It's Oliver. So he'd laugh because his name was Tony Oliver. So then Tommy Oliver was established. And same thing with David Cranston. He did the voice of a monster, and they're like, okay, let's just name him Billy Cranston. So they named those people after those things, and then here we are. It just becomes history years later. So I'm stuck with the fact that last name, and
he ended up coming back to be Zordon, which is like
I know, dude,
so crazy. Okay, what did you think of that movie?
So I'll be honest. The truth is, I've never seen the end of the movie yet because I got kicked out of the theater. I just never seen the end of the movie, which totally sucks because when I was out there, talking to security and trying to get my camera, I heard everyone started clapping. I think people should be connected to the universe like Star Wars. I really do think people should be connected to the universe. I think there should have been a little bit more fighting. I do understand that they were doing a saga of films, but we need, like, I talked to Larry. I think Larry Lamb's going to do this too. He's I talked to him about coming on the show. I'm booked for the next week, but he's the stunt coordinator, Larry Lamb, and Power Rangers, and they were hired for stunts, and they were waiting around because there wasn't much of it. But it's a movie.
Yeah, they were trying to build. There was a lot of exposition in it.
Yeah, dude. So like movies, I get scared that people are going to ruin it. You know, when they remake something.
When you think of Power Rangers, though, like I think everybody morphs so in this TV series that, like, the fact that nothing happened in the movie for so long, people were like, why is there so much going on? I didn't mind the movies, but I'm all for, everything's got to change. Obviously, it's got to be different for different generations and whatever. And I'm all for that stuff. But I think that a lot of people are ready for stuff to happen way sooner than it actually did. So they kind of checked out before any of the good stuff actually happened.
I know. Well, what sucks is that they're pulling, they're making it for kids now. Like, I mean, that's why, honestly, man, I want to do something like the Green Rangers, the Lord Draken, and that's why we're moving on to the Legend of the White Dragon, is that even though it might be a separate entity, fans do want to connect stuff together. And there's a fan base that I don't have to say, we've been saying this for a long time, you miss opportunities sometimes. There's opportunities that are missed that, understanding, I always say the Starbucks language. Power Ranger language is much like the Starbucks language. People don't understand unless you are trained to talk a vente, a tall as a small. Power Ranger talk is very, and understanding it is very, you have to understand it. And the JDF IG live show. I will be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Time, and I will bring on Jimmy from Comic-Con. So bring all your Comic-Con questions that you guys have. He's an amazing guy, just good all around, good fan, knows the genre, good businessman. So I'm bringing you a lot of things on my Instagram as well. A lot of business people that can help you through the financial situations that everyone's having here. But I will tell you this. Hustle your passion. Mike, you're right. Be passionate about what you do and hustle your passion. And that's kind of what I'm doing here, telling everyone I'm very passionate about all my fans. I appreciate you guys. Even though there is no Comic-Cons right now, we are making a Comic-Con every day from my office here at the JDF headquarters, where I am cooped up and going crazy. But we're all going to get through this. And much love to everyone. And cool fountain pen. Thanks for sending me this fountain pen. Anyway, guys, tomorrow, stay tuned. Jimmy will be joining us, and I have a great lineup. All right. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. God bless America. We have 86,400 seconds a day, and I wanted to thank you for this opportunity. You are allowing me seconds and minutes of your time. In fact, we had 60 minutes today, so if you watched it, thank you. If not, you can go to my YouTube channel at JDFFFN, where you can watch this and many other things. So thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you soon. Mike, thank you, buddy.